Hey everyone, today, we're diving into the life of Jesus, a figure so influential that Time magazine called him the most significant person in history. And it's not just Time saying this. Jaroslav Pelikan, a Yale University professor, once said that if we could pull every trace of Jesus' name from Western history, there'd be almost nothing left. But check this out, we're not just rehashing the same old stories. Nope. We're about to uncover 40 fascinating facts about Jesus that might just knock your socks off. So buckle up because this is going to be one wild ride through history. Okay, so let's kick things off with Jesus' birth. Now you might think you know this story, but trust me, there's more to it than you might realize. First up, did you know that Jesus probably wasn't born on December 25th? Yeah, that's right. Many scholars think it was more likely in the fall. And get this, he probably wasn't even born in the year 1 AD. Most experts believe it was sometime before 4 BC. Based on what we know about King Herod's reign. But wait, there's more. Remember the story of the 3 wise men? Well, here's a shocker. The Bible doesn't actually say there were 3 of them. We just assume that because of the 3 gifts. And speaking of gifts, let's talk about that manger scene. Bethlehem, where Jesus was born, literally means house of bread in Hebrew. Now let's chat about Jesus' name. Fun fact, Jesus was actually a super common name back in the day. It's like naming your kid John today. But here's where it gets interesting. Jesus wasn't his last name. Christ is actually a title meaning anointed one. Ready for more? Jesus' name was given to him by an angel before he was even born. Talk about divine planning. And speaking of family, Jesus had quite the interesting family tree. We're talking about some pretty colorful characters here. You've got Jacob the schemer, Rahab the prostitute, and even King David with all his, let's call them complicated relationships. Oh, and did you know Jesus had siblings? Yep, the Bible mentions his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas, and even refers to his sisters. Imagine growing up with the Son of God as your big brother. Alright, let's talk about what Jesus looked like. Spoiler alert, we don't really know. Despite all those paintings you've seen, the Bible doesn't give us a physical description. In fact, Isaiah's prophecy suggests he was pretty ordinary looking. No hot Jesus here, folks. But you know what's really cool? When Judas betrayed Jesus, he had to point him out with a kiss. That means Jesus didn't stand out in a crowd. Now, on to languages. Jesus was basically a first-century polyglot. He definitely spoke Aramaic, which was the common language in Judea at the time. He also knew Hebrew for studying the Torah. And there's a good chance he spoke some Greek too, especially when talking to Roman officials. So, next time someone asks you if Jesus spoke English, you can hit him with this knowledge bomb. Jesus didn't start preaching until he was about 30, and his ministry lasted only 3.5 years. For most of his life, Jesus was just a regular carpenter, but when he started preaching, he made an impact. Jesus was all about parables, but sometimes even his disciples didn't understand them. He'd explain in private, like a secret Bible study. Jesus taught everywhere, hillsides, boats, dinner parties. He was like a walking, talking TED Talk. The feeding of the 5,000 is the only miracle recorded in all 4 Gospels. Talk about catering skills. Jesus raised 3 people from the dead, Lazarus, Jairus' daughter, and the widow of Nain's son. A resurrection hat trick. Jesus claimed to be God, and his followers worshipped him as such. Thomas even called him my Lord and my God. God himself spoke audibly to Jesus 3 times, the ultimate divine endorsement. Jesus wasn't an emotionless Zen master. He cried, got angry, and showed deep compassion. Remember the temple incident? Jesus wasn't afraid to show righteous anger. Jesus wasn't a vegetarian. Fish was on the menu, and he likely enjoyed lamb during Passover. Jesus often withdrew to pray and recharge. He invented the spiritual retreat. Crucifixion was common in Rome, used to terrorize the population. But Jesus' crucifixion was unique. Jesus was betrayed for 30 pieces of silver, the price of a slave. Before crucifixion, Jesus was under so much stress he sweat blood, a real condition called hematidrosis. Jesus' tomb was triple protected with a huge stone, guards, and a Roman seal. Talk about overkill. Jesus' resurrection was physical, not just spiritual. The neatly folded burial linens left behind were a significant detail. After his resurrection, Jesus ate fish and allowed people to touch him, proving his physical presence. He appeared to his followers 12 times, leaving them astounded. From individuals to small groups, even to a crowd of 500 people, Jesus' post-resurrection appearances were like a tour, each leaving his followers absolutely gobsmacked. Jesus left behind the Great Commission, commanding his followers to spread his teachings worldwide. This mission has continued for 2,000 years. Jesus' impact goes beyond religion. His teachings have influenced art, literature, philosophy, and even politics, fundamentally shaping Western civilization. From Renaissance masterpieces to modern literature, Jesus' influence on culture is undeniable. His teachings continue to inspire creators across all mediums. Even in politics, Jesus' words resonate. World leaders across time have quoted his teachings, demonstrating the enduring power of his message. Whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or somewhere in between, Jesus' impact on our world is undeniable. His story continues to fascinate and inspire people from all walks of life.